What's up, everybody? We are back kicking it stateside. Another wonderful, beautiful fall Saturday full of soccer.
Back to our normal time.
Back to our normal 10:30 time. We got, obviously, a lot to talk about, but a little bit of extra things to talk about today with the Champions League draw that took place on Thursday.
We got a lot to talk about, man. I'm telling you, we're going to have to start looking into extending this thing because it's just getting deeper and deeper. And
I know there's always just so much to do.
Yeah.
And you think there's a little bit of a lull with the Prem, but then all of a sudden it's like, boom, you got Champions League just rolling back in. You got Europa League also with that draw. Be interesting to see what you think about that one. And, in our usual Prem slate, we got... we had one already this morning. We had the Chelsea boys getting back to on the winning ways with a nice 4-0 win against Palace.
Much needed.
Absolutely. We obviously we'll get into that a little bit. Good start. Pulisic with a nice 10-minute run out, I saw.
Yeah.
Which is nice to see him back on the field.
Absolutely. For US and Chelsea.
Yes. Thank God we need him. And my shirt today is USA. Unite and strengthen.
Adam is forced to wear red today, so he's going with the best that he can.
I'm trying. I don't have a lot of red stuff, man.
I know.
I don't look good in red, so it's...
you look great always. Don't belittle yourself.
Stop it.
You're fantastic.
Stop. But yeah, so Chelsea finally getting back to the winning ways. Palace, I believe, are going to be Palace. This is what did I say last week? Don't buy your stock in Palace.
You're right.
And look what happens.
Yeah. I think our DC and Palace Atlanta brethren now are probably in agreement with you. Unfortunately, That's the life they live, and they seem to understand it by their tweets and their actions. So
they're probably thinking, "Oh, not again."
Yeah, it's
Tough.
standard. They're a mid-table team every year.
It is very tough to be a Palace fan. I can't imagine.
It is.
But yeah, so obviously we got a full slate today and tomorrow. They're trying to squeeze all these games in before Monday because next weekend will be the international break.
Yes.
So they get a little bit of some of the guys will get maybe like a week, 5 days off to refresh a little bit, and some guys get to play more games.
Yay! Just what they need. More games.
Just roll them out. It's like, all right, you think we're going to have a little bit of a break, and then nope, you got to go to play Kosovo or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just how it is right now.
Yeah, man. It's good for us as fans. It's good for them too, but it's going to be very taxing.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, again, with COVID, they're trying to squeeze all these games in international. Obviously, USA is not partaking in their usual October camp, I saw, because of everything that's going on. So that's kind of pushed back the CONCACAF qualifying. But the Gold Cup, I believe, was released too to see who we play coming up. I think Canada, we drew Canada.
Of course we did.
So we'll get an extra dose of Alphonso Davies coming at us.
Oh, just what we need. Actually, it is what we need. We need, we got the revenge in that second game and we need to continue now to be able to come back and show that we can beat that team again.
Yeah. I mean, we don't want Canada to upstage us again.
No, and I mean they have a couple great individual players.
They have two good guys that are worth to mention with Alphonso Davies and Jonathan David, right?
Yeah, Davies and David.
Davies and David. Yes. Beautiful Canadians.
Yes.
What else? Obviously, later today we'll see the Leeds United boys. We'll see how they're doing. So far, so good, but
great
now
start.
They're going to be running into a pissed-off Man City team who just got their doors blown off by Leicester last weekend.
How about that, man? We weren't so sure which Leicester team we had here, if we were going to get the restart Leicester or the start of last season Leicester, but it looks like we got the start of last season Leicester so far.
Yeah, I mean, so far, again, I'm going to hold off on that.
I know you are.
Because of how they started last year, too.
Yeah.
But it's looking like the Leicester that was like third in the table for pretty much up until February, right?
They were holding second for almost that whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, they were the hottest team in the league outside of Liverpool for.
We thought, oh my God, do they have what it takes to get, stay there for the whole time? And can they maybe beat out, Man City for that second spot? And is Brendan Rodgers going to be coach of the year? Like, we had all these things were like, is this going to happen? And then they just started to teeter off. And then after the restart, they just were not the same.
Yeah.
Really, once when Pereira went down, they were just not as good.
Yeah, they got super flat. And
again, one of those teams that was very much negatively affected by the restart and not having fans in the seats.
Correct.
What else we got? I guess going on right now, we got Everton. Everton versus Brighton. As we speak, getting into that game.
DCL.
Yeah, Dominic Calvert-Lewin has revamped his career.
He's the hottest man on the planet right now.
Under Ancelotti, it seems. He has been fantastic.
2 straight home games, 2 straight hat tricks.
How do you follow that up?
Well, I can tell you how he followed it up by scoring a header in this one to give him a 1-0 lead. First time an Everton player has scored in 4 consecutive Premier League fixtures since Lukaku. First time that an Everton player has scored in the first 4 Premier League fixtures to start a season since prior to World War II, 1938.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, he's just doing things at a club that's been around for ages. And talk about guys and Ancelotti, man. It's incredible what he's done with him. He's bringing in James. That's his boy. That team just looks energized. Richarlison looks like the Richarlison we thought he was going to be last year. They're doing it in any competition they're playing, pretty much. Carabao Cup right now, and then obviously the Prem so far. So
putting up some serious goals. I mean, we said that James, the Alon signing, and also Diacore signing seems to be really solid for them. Kind of shoring up that midfield that was, has the aging Gylfi Sigurdsson last year. Tom Davies, is he a starter? Probably not. He's more of a guy that comes off the bench. So
yeah, he got the start in this one, but in general, yeah, I mean, now with that firepower in the middle, that's perfect for them. They're going to be able to rotate him in and out and let him to continue to develop.
Right.
And
again, it's not a bad guy to bring off the bench or plug in there to start as a rotation guy.
No, it's good problems to have.
USA.
All right, we're getting a lot of US love. Neil's in. Chrome, what's up? Tommy, what's up?
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? I just get off on this tangent to start.
That's all right. I mean, they know that the love's there. Sometimes you can't
what's up, Greg?
Stop and say what's up to everybody.
A lot of people are saying they agree that Everton's going to challenge.
Well,
piggybacking off that poll, our poll question today is brought to you by.
There you go.
So our poll question today: will Everton, after their hot start, will they contend? Are we going to have a battle of Mercyside teams fighting it out at the end to see who will be crowned Prem champs? That would be fantastic. That'd be like the old days when Everton and Liverpool were just going at it, trying to. I mean, they're literally separated by maybe a mile or so.
Yeah.
The stadiums, and if people don't know, Everton is located in Liverpool.
That would be fantastic to have two Mercyside derbies this year that are actually like meaningful competitive games. It's so good for the league. They are two teams that have just been, mainstay fixtures for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you want to see them both successful. That's the nice thing for this league is you want to see some of these teams that have been around and have really rich histories in the game continue their success.
That's all we need.
Yeah, man.
We need some parity. I don't want to see this Liverpool Man City all the time.
No.
Fighting for fighting for that crown. I mean, it's great to have Leeds as well playing well. We'll see again how they do against City. They stacked up well against Liverpool earlier.
Yeah, they gave them all they could handle.
They seem to be scoring goals. It's just they're leaking in a lot, and
yeah, we did talk. They added some defensive help, but they're probably going to need a little bit more. I think they've already shown me enough, though. Like we said prior to the season, that if you had to pick the one that's going to stay, they're definitely the ones as of now.
No
questions asked.
It's not even close.
Yeah, I mean Fulham is
to this point. No,
Fulham's trash. I have nothing else to say.
No, right Fulham's in some deep trouble.
Big trouble.
Because even granted, Villa has looked like a completely different team this year.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Completely. Well, it's what happens when you find a way to stay up. You add a good goalkeeper. You add a couple little other pieces. You were able to retain Jackie. Your long time. I mean, he is Villa of the last how many years now.
That's true.
So
locking him up long term has been.
Yeah, and that's got to be a confidence booster, man. By all rights, they should have easily got relegated last year, and they were one of the teams that I think the break helped, and they were able to regroup, and they were able to get it together down the stretch, and they won a couple games, drew a couple games that they needed to. And, I mean, confidence is big in this game, so.
Absolutely, and I think it'll go a long way for them, honestly.
Yeah. Tyrone Mings looks healthy again, which that definitely hurt them last year.
It's like Mings, Konsa, even the addition of Matty Cash, he looks like he's going to be a good player.
Yeah.
So, and dude, Emi Martinez going to Villa
was monstrous.
Huge.
Monstrous.
And if they can get Ollie Watkins to score some goals, they're going to be pretty good this year.
He will.
I mean, you saw them, again, it's Fulham, but they dismantled Fulham from the get-go. Johnny McGinn with 2 assists and Jack with a nice goal. Hourahan gets one too. It's just, again, if they can get scoring up front and, McGinn to stay healthy this year, I think they can do some good things.
Yeah. Yeah, and with Mings healthy in on the defense and Emmy, anytime you have good defensive help and good goalkeeping, you're going to be in games. So
absolutely. What's up, Neil? How are you? Beautiful day. What else we got?
I mean, obviously, I know we'll touch on a little bit of Carabao Cup. We're not going to dig into it too much, but there's a few games, of course, I want to mention. So,
Of course.
Sure.
Lord Walker will like to.
Yeah, I mean, we're welcome to wait for him on that one. If
that'd be I think that's the best thing to do.
So, just so everybody knows, one of our, I would say, we haven't been around forever, but longtime fans. He's been very consistent, and we really appreciate all his support.
He's one of the OGs, I'd say.
Definitely. Mr. Lord Walker will be joining us around 11 o'clock today. We are wearing red due to a little bet. Pretty much it was his bet for the Chelsea-Liverpool game with Adam, and it was a continuation of the Prem fixture between Liverpool and Arsenal last week that Liverpool did take 3-1. But, might as well bring it up now. We were able to get him right back with the Carabao Cup victory. So,
yeah. And I lost the same bet to Lord Walker in the Chelsea-Liverpool game earlier this season.
Yeah.
I said, sure, I'll wear red or whatever. I would have bought a little Liverpool hat or something. That's fine.
Why?
I'll do the red.
So you could look even more like Klopp?
Yeah. I have those same clear lens glasses too.
I know it.
We're one and the same, me and Yergi.
You and Yergi.
So before we get to our sponsors, one more. The big one tomorrow is Spurs and Man United at Old Trafford. So
I'll be keeping the red on for that one.
I don't know. Again, Spurs have been putting up some goals. They put up 7 against Maccabi Haifa.
Oh.
Again, on Thursday in the Europa League qualifying. And then they did get a nice Carabao Cup win against Chelsea and PKs, which is, it's whatever, you know.
Should have never even got tied.
It's one less competition to worry about.
Yeah, it's the same thing that, you know, we'll talk about it when we get to there. But honestly, Arsenal winning that Carabao Cup game means a lot to them, and it's probably a positive for Liverpool to just limit one thing on their schedule.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's because then you're going to start getting into Champions League, and then you're going to start getting into, you know, FA Cup's going to be coming around here in the next year after, I think January maybe it starts up. So if you're these big teams in like a million competitions, like a Carabao Cup is whatever, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you can clearly see in the lineups Arteta valued that game over the Prem game. And I, as an Arsenal fan, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I mean,
because they're in a situation where they actually need these kind of games. They need to be able to rotate squads and figure out more and more what they have, get more chemistry to where Liverpool doesn't necessarily. So,
getting a lot of Liverpool and USA love today.
Well, that's perfect because the guy that's going to be joining us today is a Liverpool fan, obviously.
Perfect segue.
And has done a little work with some USA soccer, so
ties into both.
Yes.
Lord Walker coming on. I'm sure you'll be ecstatic to see we're all supporting red because it's just Liverpool winning.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. My red was coming anyway for Arsenal, so
I know.
I got a little advantage in this one.
I feel like you're going to wear red regardless. I'm like, we're going to be the red twins up here.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to catch me in red ever. Ever. I'm not a red person.
Yeah. None of the teams are red.
No. We don't like that red team anywhere.
No, I know you didn't this week either.
There's nothing to say.
He's like, I don't give a shit about a German Cup.
I mean, I missed it, but
nice assist by Reina though this morning, so they're up 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, you better fucking beat Freiburg.
Yeah, you really better beat Freiburg. And we are at halftime of this game, and since we've come on the air, Malpai did level it up, but it appears Yari Mina gave them a 2-1 lead at the half. So Everton is still on top from what I've last seen.
2-1.
2-1 at the half.
Word. But yeah, so before we get rolling, obviously got to give a shout out to our sponsors. We got the Ambuck Services boys. You know, fall is a-coming. It's here. The leaves, we say.
I was watching them all morning.
Just falling.
Sitting on my deck, having my morning coffee, just watching
the foliage
fall. Hoping I had somebody that would come out and do the work for me because I'm lazy and fat.
Well, that's not true, but...
Let's try, yeah.
Jacked.
Yeah. Dad.
Hey, that's in now.
Yeah, true.
Apparently.
True.
But yeah, we're we get everything that you need done outside. You want to get it done before winter comes because probably if 2020 is anything like it's been, I'm sure we'll have some extreme like storm in like December right before the holidays or something.
Yeah, like a nice good old 18-inch blizzard or
something
along those lines.
It'll be the weather being like it'll be 2020 like middle fingers on its way out.
Yeah.
Like, ha ha, take that. But yeah, so you want to get your deck restored. You want to get the leaves taken care of. You don't want that nonsense while it's 20 degrees outside and you're getting your frozen puddles along your gutter area. You don't want that.
No.
You want it knocked out now. You want to hit up Ambuck Services, ambuckservices.com. Give them a call. They are the best in Jersey, South Jersey. And
Jersey as a whole, but
Jersey as a whole.
Yes.
I'm sure they do some traveling. And there's no trees in the city, so I don't have to worry about it. And also the good doc, Paul Vidal.
You know it. For
Specialized physical therapy.
For all you DIYers.
And again, men's soccer leagues are starting up.
They are.
I heard I was golfing yesterday, and I heard some Little League games. I'm like, oh, we got the fall ball going. We got everything's coming back little by little. We got the sports.
And that snow, if that snow does come and you're out there shoveling it.
Hurting your back.
Hurting your shoulder. Who you going to call? We know it's not the Ghostbusters.
Paul Vidal.
It's Paul Vidal.
Specialized physical therapy.
You could do the online consults, the telehealth, or you could go to one of the 3 beautiful locations. Because they're not all just beautiful. Not all beautiful. All 3 are beautiful.
Burlington is very beautiful.
Cherry Hill.
And Cherry Hill, too.
That's where we got started.
That's true. I mean, you cannot.
And full circle, Lord Walker's from Cherry Hill.
Funny you say that. I'm seeing our boy right now.
Is he popping in?
Let's bring him on.
Let's bring him in. Perfect segue.
What's up?
Yo.
What's up?
What's
Lord
going
Walker
on?
In the flesh.
That I am.
We're happy, very happy to have you.
Oh, I'm very happy to see you all in red, too.
Yeah, we held up our ends of the bargain.
Just for you.
Like I said, I was probably wearing red anyway for my boys.
That is true.
Either way, it works. It works.
I got the little bit of the blue.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
a little blend. But yeah, we were just running down some of these Prem games from last week, and then we'll run into some and preview some of these ones that are coming up this weekend.
Okay.
Yes.
And again, we don't like to do too much on these last games because it was so long ago, or at least it feels so long ago.
Feels like yesterday for me.
I know. And there was a lot, especially between you two. We could start there.
We've had a busy week.
Yes, we have.
Busy week.
Yeah.
And you don't see that often. It's like you play your team in the Prem, and then somehow you draw them in the League Cup as well.
Yeah, what Arsenal just loves drawing like heavy competition in League Cup, you know.
Yeah.
We don't get the Brentfords, we don't get the Lincoln Cities, you know. We get Leicester, we get Liverpool, and now we get to follow up with Man City in the corner. So, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just keep them coming. But hey, that's good practice for Arteta and the boys. But we got to start with the Prem game, and I got to give credit where credit's due. Liverpool looking, you know, like the Liverpool we all know. They came out hot, on fire. They gave Arsenal all they could handle. And, I mean, what else can you say from everybody? And I know last week you were so big on Jota, talking about Jota. Man, didn't he look like a perfect fit?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Mane, the thing about it is when Stadio got taken off, he was pretty angry, actually.
And he does not like to come off.
Oh, he does not.
He just doesn't like to come off.
And that's why that's the only thing I'm scared of is, like, you know, how he's going to really mesh with Salah and with Mane. Because, I mean, he's basically gunning for either one of their spots.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so, but it helps when you're, 22, 23 years old and, your competition's 28, 29 years old. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's a good segue too, because now apparently Mane has was hanging out with Thiago and does have a positive COVID test.
Absolutely.
So now Jota's going to be thrown to the fire and have opportunities, and and that could be unfortunate for Sadio, because if Jota continues to play the way he's playing, I mean, that's going to just. He said,
that ain't happening.
Well, maybe not. No, maybe not this year. But we always say on this show, there's good problems to have and there's bad problems to have, and depth is a great problem to have.
Absolutely. I can say this. Look, with Liverpool, I think that this is the closest we've looked like Manchester City last year, considering that Manchester City's second team could beat first team Premier League teams.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And the sheer fact that, despite the fact that, yes, you did beat us in 5-4 in penalties, I still think that squad that we had out there looked finally like a squad that, like, you're not worried about, hey, do we have to play all of our starters or some of our starters or half our starters to actually compete in some of these, cups that don't really hold the appeal as they used to.
Yeah, and I mean, we still haven't seen Tsimikas from Greece really make an appearance, I don't think. I mean, you're the Liverpool guy. I don't think I've seen him.
He did play against your Arsenal.
Okay.
But he looks great, to tell you the truth. And the reason why I got so hemmed up about the Jota comment was simply because when you're going against or competing to get a roster spot against someone that's one of the top players in the world, I mean, not only in the league but in the world,
right?
That's a pretty tough bar to get over,
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was like really up in arms on it, because I was like, of course he's not going to start over Mane, or he's not going to start over over Salah, like they're two of the top players in the world.
Right. Yep. But it'll be nice against, some of the lower Prem squads to give those guys some rest and have somebody Absolutely. That can come in and be effective.
I mean, and I'm sure you're pretty happy that Origi was playing.
Oh yeah. And you know what? I love Origi. I'm a big Origi supporter.
Oh, okay.
I've said it, I've had arguments with people that obviously they don't win. I mean, in reality, they don't win that Champions League without Divock.
Oh, absolutely not. Yes, you're right.
There was a lot of components that got them there, but those last two games it was his show. So
yeah, he's definitely cemented himself into the folklore that is Liverpool.
But, well, he's got to feel good now with Brewster going. I mean,
yeah,
you probably don't, but he has to.
You know what though? I don't know if you read the whole deal that was brought out. I'm really happy actually. I mean,
that was a good chunk of change for him.
Yeah,
not even the money. It's not even the money. It's the sheer fact that in 3 years we have a buyback option.
Right.
So it's basically like, hey, you're going to pay us to take our player, have him get better, and then if he gets better, we'll buy him back.
I'm surprised you didn't do that with your club squad, Southampton.
That's true. Yeah.
But no, that's a big move for Sheffield, and yes, absolutely, that's setting it up that way is monstrous for Liverpool.
It's good on both parties for sure.
Yeah. For sure.
So speaking of Jota, I mean, let's segue to last week, and I mean, are Wolves hurting or what?
Yes.
I don't know what's going on. They're sitting at bottom table, aren't they? Or at least bottom 3.
Yeah, I mean, you lost to West Ham 4-0.
That fucked me because I put a bet on I put like $40 on Wolves. I'm like, this is it. They're gonna run over West Ham, and then all of a sudden I'm looking. I'm like, it's 2-0. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
No life.
I think Wolves have lost their direction, unfortunately, and I actually kind of like it because I would like to see some other players from their team get, into the league.
I'd be happy to have Raul Jimenez.
Oh,
who wouldn't?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Who wouldn't? Yeah, but I don't
Yeah, I
even
mean
know.
they lose Darty.
Yeah.
Now they lose Jota. I mean they're spreading their talent around the league, and now it's starting to come back and bite them.
And Podence didn't play the other day too. He was hurt.
Yeah.
And he's been kind of a bright spot for them.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I think though Adame is my top my top target. I would say easily.
Yeah, you've made that pretty clear.
Yeah. He's pretty amazing. I mean, it's interesting too because now that he hasn't even played for Spain technically yet.
Right.
He's played in some friendlies, but like him coming out and actually playing, he's now getting called up by Mali. So like, he's got some choices to make. And,
Oh, absolutely.
It should be pretty fun.
It's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Awesome when you see a guy like that. Just whatever his workout regimen is, too. I want in.
Oh yeah.
Come on, he said he doesn't lift.
Yeah,
Funny like talk about workout. I mean, I want to know what Vardy's doing because Vardy is just
The ageless wonder.
on a tear.
He's like a fine wine.
33 years old and still killing it.
It's those 3 Red Bulls he has before the matches.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's it like? 4 shots of espresso and 3 Red Bulls, and
It's something insane. Like I don't know how his heart doesn't explode.
Oh my
But
God.
yeah, it is. That dude just has a motor out there.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm surprised he doesn't like smoke cigarettes on the side or something.
I wouldn't even be surprised.
Like, who does that?
He is an Englishman through and through.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Oh,
Again,
Don't put that past him.
He's got a lot to prove. I mean, I think he should have started over Kane anyway last year. In the last big tournament they had. So, he's got a lot to prove still.
Oh yeah.
yeah. I mean, and speaking of that, I mean, they put a 5-spotter up on City last week, which who saw
one
that
had
coming?
No one.
No. No.
I wish I had because that was I think it was like 1,200. You would for $100 you went 1,200 or something like that. So.
Yeah.
City was a decent favorite. I was like, all right. I mean, again, I don't know what it is about City where some games they just have these duds.
Yeah, well, hey, I would say that City. I would like to thank you guys actually because I remember tuning into your broadcast and you're talking about the Champions League game that they had coming up, and I actually bet on that game, and I won pretty nicely.
Nice.
So, and that was all because, like, for some reason, I got the vibe from guys that like bet on it.
Hell yeah.
Doesn't hurt that watching Man City lose is not bad at all.
Yeah, I think all 3 of us can, and most of the people that watch our show can agree that we all like that.
Oh, I love it. I was
Spurs,
sitting there.
Spurs and City.
Said you're not going to get much love on this show for those 2, especially Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But I kind of set the record straight too. You guys, so Everton is not above Liverpool. Let's get that straight right now. Technically, they're not above. They're in third place. So
yes.
On the table. So
Yes.
We
just. I think that day is coming, but
I mean, we just had a lot of love for Everton at the start of last season, and then they just shit the bed because their coach was incompetent.
Yeah.
And then this year, it seems like, with Ancelotti, his first full season, and the Jaimez signing, and Elan, and Diacore, Calvert-Lewin playing out of his mind, it looks like,
yes, absolutely.
Maybe they take that next step. I don't know.
Well, they have probably one of the most versatile and together midfields in the Premier right now. Easily.
Right.
And I mean, that's the difference. I mean, a lot of people, poo-poo on Liverpool's midfield, but I mean, it's what is the workhorse of our team.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you saw Jay Hendo have one of his best seasons last year.
Yes.
And he hasn't even been right this year, really.
He hasn't. But it's worked out.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
worked out. Because by him not being right, then, Thiago is going to be able to get some minutes. Or, or who, Nabi's going to get some minutes or something.
Yeah, Nabi's been doing great things with his minutes. So
Absolutely.
If Georgie stays, I mean, we got till Monday to know if that's happening. But, he's always – we'll see. I mean, I guess
I don't know if he's going to Barcelona. You talking about Jitting?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if he's going to Barcelona or not, to be honest with you. I mean,
at this point, if I'm Liverpool, I probably wouldn't.
Right. They gotta. Liverpool's got a strain out. FSG, unlike Chelsea, have a strange way of balancing their books. Okay.
Yeah.
So whenever someone's going out, there's money coming in, or vice versa. So whenever you see these, when they started, opening up their purses, I was like, oh man, so we're gonna see some people go, and that's gonna be unfortunate for some of them.
Well, hold on, guys. We're about to have another guest on the show real quick.
Okay.
I knew this was gonna happen. Come on, mister. Everybody say hi.
What's up?
It's my son, Chase. So I thought we had everything ready, but needs his iPad. Did you say hi? Say hi.
I love the guest appearance.
Oh, man, I kept hearing the little quiet knock at the door, and it wasn't going to go away. So,
persistent.
It's nice to not have to travel to the studio, but sometimes it's nice to just be able to get into a studio and not have to have the home studio. But
yeah,
I know.
This is where we're at. So,
could be the new norm.
It's looking that way.
What else from last week that was noteworthy?
Spurs tying Newcastle was great.
Yeah, always.
My man Callum Wilson getting another opportunity late on that PK and putting it away and getting out of there with a draw.
Yeah. Which another questionable VAR decision again.
A lot of questionable VAR decisions again.
I know. It's like a topic every week, but that one, I don't know. Again, I didn't really agree with it, if I'm thinking back correctly of what happened.
Yeah, if you keep running them back, sometimes at the moment, you're like, maybe. And then the more and more you look at it, you're like, that little extra part of the game is now gone. That little wonder of, and I guess it's true in all sports with replay and things like that, is you kind of remove that human element now, which can be good and it can be bad. And we've seen it on both sides for the last 2 years now. So,
yeah,
it's unfortunate.
It also doesn't help that. It also doesn't help now with the new rule on handballs. Doesn't help at all. I mean, it makes it even more blurrier of, where and what. And then there was also a lot of missed calls too. I mean, I remember, I'm trying to think of the game it was, but there's a couple of different times the goals were you could actively see it. Like everyone could actively see that it was a goal, but yet somehow VAR isn't able to see it, and you're like, what is going on?
Right. And teaching these line judges to keep the flag down and not rate, like these guys have been doing the same thing for years now, and now you expect them to keep it down all of a sudden. It's like, I don't know.
I still don't get that.
It's difficult. It's difficult.
There's just too much gray area for me.
Yeah.
They need to.
Do you think that the coaches are going to make a really concerted effort to get the rule changed?
The handball rule?
Season? I mean, after last week, when they basically gave the game back, like they'd already blown the final whistle, and then went to VAR, and then allowed for the penalty shot to be shot.
And of course, it's Man United getting another penalty.
Exactly.
Like how many are you gonna give them?
The Manchester's greasing pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's ridiculous. But, I mean, definitely Jose Mourinho. He'll definitely fight for it.
Yeah.
This guy, he complains about it every week.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he does.
He complains about anything you'll let him complain about.
Yeah, he complains about people going to the bathroom. Come on.
True.
Yeah.
He did.
Which, I mean, I have to say, you don't see that.
That's
You had
hilarious.
to have been
You really
bad.
don't. You really
It had to
don't.
have been bad.
That was pretty funny. I've never seen that, but he must have had to go really bad.
Yeah.
It's just funny that Jose was following down the tunnel.
What was he gonna do? What was he gonna like? Was he gonna
Hey,
knock
Eric-
the ball
hey,
and
Eric,
be
you
like,
okay,
"Hey,
bud?"
come back?
You gonna wipe for him or?
Yeah. I just thought it was funny that Dyer just rolled with it. Like, he got the man of the match, and he took that picture with
I
the
know.
man of the match on the toilet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like, all right,
Genius. Absolute
good
genius.
sport about it. He knew everybody knew that that's what he was doing, so he might as well just roll with it.
Yeah.
He won the internet that day.
Oh,
He definitely did.
without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Oh, respect to him, fellow Eagles fan.
You're not gonna, Adam. You're not going to get out of last week's rundown without the West Brom Chelsea game. Just, I know you've been deflecting it. I could see the order in which we're going.
I know it's like working way up towards that
but we do have to discuss
that terrible performance. I don't know. It's the same old Chelsea problem. Defense is just terrible.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't understand the Zuma thing. Thank God, hopefully. And Thiago, he was terrible too. That terrible giveaway he had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's a talent, and I know you weren't in favor of bringing in a 35-year-old defender at the end of his career as your.
I just said
number
that's
one.
not gonna solve our problems.
It's
a
not.
36-year-old defender.
Chilwell has a better chance of solving your problems, as we saw today.
You could also have,
Correct.
you could also be Man U and have someone like Maguire, like, going and messing up things in Greece,
Yeah.
and, and doing his thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, Zuma's got 2 goals for you. I mean, maybe Zuma's problem's been Christensen.
yeah.
Well, he's
Chilwell-
definitely
did
terrible
Chilwell get a
too.
goal today?
Yeah, Zuma scored today.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he got
2
the
goals
second
from 2
one.
defenders,
Yeah.
which is great. Good to see Benny Chilwell actually getting some time. He looks like he's fit again.
I like the way my fantasy
Hopefully.
team looks right now after
Oh,
this
gosh.
morning.
Chilwell. Oh,
What'd he get you? 14, 16 points?
I don't know. I got two PK goals from Jorginho.
Well, yeah, he's the PK taker. It's good to have him.
Yeah, Tammy didn't think so.
Nah,
That's
Tammy
the problem.
needs to step back.
Hey, but you gotta give Azpilicueta a lot of credit because he got in there and he got in Tammy's face with Jorginho, and they were like, "Nah, bro." They took that ball out of his hand. They're like, "We have a structure here.
Yeah.
We have a PK kicker.
Well, and
Your
Jorginho
captain
is pretty
takes your
much
kicks."
he's automatic from the spot. He doesn't miss.
He is. You don't
He
want
does.
Manchester
He doesn't
United
miss.
problems.
He missed against us.
He did.
What are you talking about?
He did.
All right, 1 out of 100 he
But
missed.
here's the thing, though. You don't, in my mind, you don't want to open that door. That's what United went through in the beginning of last year
True.
with
Very true.
Rashford and Pogba
Very
and
true.
Martial, and you
Very good
get
point.
everybody's head going, and you stick with it. You're gonna miss in this
Yeah.
game. You're gonna miss. The best guys. Have
Well, it's
missed.
nice when United gets an actual PK taker because Bruno seems to be the guy now.
He's the man now.
He should be.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
He should be.
yeah.
But
We're already talking way too much about United on this show today.
I am wearing red.
Yeah,
yeah,
bringing it
yes,
out of
you
you.
are.
Yes. Woo.
Only one true red.
Well, since you're wearing red, we could talk about your adopted second team,
Oh,
Sheffield.
absolutely. Yes.
The Blades are in some trouble.
That
Yeah,
is actually my game of the week. I mean, despite my own game, but yeah, I think that is a big game because everyone. I mean, they're like the bad news bears almost, of the league, and they are really a great team. Like, guys, and they really have some great intensity. They have some amazing pace. And it's the reason why we really struggled against them in the beginning, like guys, and we would think that we're putting them away, and then next boom, they hit again. And it's
Mhm.
it was very, very troubling to see, but also good to see considering I do like Leeds.
Yeah, yeah. So Sheffield takes another L to start the year. And like we said, for the first 2 weeks of the season, they needed some goal scoring help.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're going to get it. How quick they can get him rolling in is going to be big. And yeah, man, Leeds is just come up and doing what they're doing. I mean, they gave Liverpool everything they could. They're getting wins against the teams that they ultimately should be.
Said Pat Bamford, former Chelsea lad. Just saying.
Hey. Yeah. Voted player, could be a vote for player of the month in the early part of the season, Patty Bamford.
Hey,
yeah.
I mean, Pat Bamford and Jack Harrison, too.
Yeah.
Has had a great start to the season.
Yeah,
and
now
quick.
they add Diego Llorente for defense. Yeah. Dude, what? Come in, man.
He must be the fourth member.
He does. We're gonna get him. He's gonna take over this empire that we're gonna build one day. So
gotta make sure he's wearing red though.
He just actually grabbed his red headset for his Nintendo Switch.
Nice.
His favorite color is red. So
nice. Color. It's a good color.
It is.
Yikes.
So how do you feel about that? You don't think Tammy should have taken that goal or taken that penalty?
Why?
Think that?
No.
I mean,
it wasn't. We had a poll question one time. Right. Do you feel like if you earn a penalty, you should take it, or do you have a designated guy?
Right.
And then my thought was, you have a designated guy. If he's not on the field, then you make an adjustment.
Sure.
Or if you legit earn it. Those weren't like earned. Those were stupid Palace fouls that were possibly questionable. One of them was blatant, but the one on Havertz was a little. But I mean, Jorginho's on there. Like I said, I just think you have a structure and you stick with it.
Yeah.
As I'm starting my coaching career, that's my plan. Is I had guys take penalties at the end of practice the other day, and I got 5 names. But I got a top name, and if he's going to be on the field and we get that situation, he is taking it. I don't care.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Milner's our designated kicker when he's on the field, actually, and he's had an amazing record of scoring. But all the same, I still kind of, if you get fouled, I feel, hey, you earned the foul, you should earn the goal. I mean, you're about to score or possibly about to score, and now some other person comes up and is like, oh, I'll take that point or I'll take that goal. Thanks.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
There are clauses in contracts to get these guys some money based off of their goal scoring. So, and Tammy's opportunities are going to get limited with Timo there. So maybe he's like, yo, I need that extra couple million if I get 10 this year. Like, here's one that I can grab. And
I think
from him. So
I think piggybacking off what Julio just said, I kind of agree to that.
Absolutely. That's the reason why I thought that.
I mean, again, you're up 3-0. Sure, go ahead, Tammy, take it. Or like he just said, maybe Timo needs that confidence boost to see the ball and go in the back of the net. Maybe that gets him going. You never know. But in a close game, I would like Jorginho to take them usually, yeah.
Yes. I mean, if it was coming down to, you have to make this goal, this or that, yada, yada, but it was 3-0.
Again, 3-0. Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
No, I get it. I get you got to be a
certain stage of the game.
The situation.
I guess Tammy probably. It's like, dude, go for it. I mean, you need maybe a little confidence boost. Yeah, you scored against a tap-in against West Brom, but
I don't know though. Jorginho's having a hell of a year on a team that just spent $260 million, and they're talking about everybody else but him.
Yeah.
And he's been the captain.
And he was talked about being sold off
on the field. Yeah, I mean, early in the year, the first game of the season, he was very relevant, and I mean, he's been doing a good job captaining a whole bunch of guys that he's played with for a month.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, he is kind of. I would say he's almost besides Azpilicueta. I would say he'd be the vice captain.
There was actually talks that if Liverpool,
Possibly.
not
He's
Liverpool,
been there a decent bit now, 3 years
if,
or so.
if Arsenal's failures for Payarte and Aora were to,
Well, that's going to be a fail too.
they said Jorginho was actually on the list, so
Hater in the house.
it is not going to be a fail.
That is a fail, sir. You cannot get Hassim Awar.
All I know is my defense is in better shape than yours. So
I don't know.
yes,
We'll see.
because you're not going to see that pairing that you saw in the Premier League game ever again, unless everybody gets injured. Arteta made a decision to basically.
Well, he needs to sit David Luiz down for a good little while.
He prioritized winning the cup over winning a week 3 Premier League fixture.
Yes,
it didn't matter
absolutely.
who he was playing.
Absolutely.
Well, that's the Arsenal way. You win League Cups and FA Cups.
Bellerin.
And finish 4th or 5th.
You're not going to see Bellerin. Bellerin cost us that game against Liverpool. Bellerin was out of position on both of those goals. Completely out of position. If you go back and watch the film, everybody goes, oh, Rob Holding this, Rob Holding that. Rob Holding did his job. Luiz left him hung out to dry with that foul that wasn't called where they let him play on and they scored. And Bellerin on both of those was drifting in positions that he had no business being in. So I'm okay with Rob Holding. I'm okay with Gabriel. Saliba might be going back on loan to Rene's now, they're saying.
Seems like it.
David Luiz is going to play. Socrates is coming back. I mean,
where the hell has he been at?
He's been hurt.
Papa
plays hard. Papa plays hard. Papa gets hurt.
hard and reckless.
But I don't know. Klosniak, it looks like he's out. He's going to Leverkusen.
Going back.
Most likely.
The player that I think that really saved you was your keeper.
Oh,
Despite
yeah.
the fact that everyone has been
Leno's been great. Suarez.
He
Suarez
saved your
played
asses
good
a
right
bunch
back.
last year, too.
Oh, goodness. I mean, he was standing on his head for a while in that game.
Well, he's got a lot to prove, too, because there's been a lot of chatter in the Arsenal, fan pages and everything. Oh, how'd you let Emmy go? Emmy's a fixture. He's been with the team 10 years plus. He's finally starting to show what he's doing, and now you sell him. Well, I'm sorry, that's the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
You sell
ridiculous.
high, you get money in to build the team, and, I mean, Leno's your number one. And
dude,
by all rights,
Leno saved you a million times last year.
Leno is actually
from standing on his head. And he's a world-class keeper. I don't understand how Arsenal fans would be like, yeah, Emi Martinez, he came in and did a fantastic job last year. Of course, but sell him off. You can't have him just sitting behind Burn. Yeah, that's unfair to Burn.
Leno's actually making his stake for the German team. There's been a lot of talks that Manuel's getting older.
Well, yeah, he'll be the next in line.
Yeah, he's supplanting Ter Stegen possibly.
That's tough to do. I don't know.
Hey, there's a lot of talks about it. Lowe's really a Leno fan.
Tough.
So.
Yeah, Jurgen Love can suck my nuts.
You're not like most of my Arsenal friends here that are all still stuck in 2003, 2004. So,
No, well, that's the last time it was good to be an Arsenal fan, so I get it. But,
the good days.
Right. No, it's you know what? This is the first time in about 3 to 4 years where I can say that there's some direction. It seems like ownership has handed the keys to Arteta. He's not just the head coach; he is the manager. He is in charge, and he's getting things done. I mean, regardless of the situations, we've won 3 out of 4 games against Liverpool. It hasn't been pretty.
You felt good saying that. I can tell.
Yeah.
I was waiting
He is great. He's smiling ear to ear. He loves it.
I know.
Love it.
It might not be against the number ones. It might not be in the right situations. We hadn't won a game in Anfield since November of 2012.
Yeah.
So to get that monkey off your back, whether it's a 0-0 tie, 5-4 and 10s against a rotated squad, that's still confidence.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will give you this, and I've said this to you in private too. Arteta is definitely a Pep mold style coach, and he carries that really well. And not everyone can do that. You
Yeah.
know,
It's not easy.
I mean, I'm a big Sixers fan, and Brett Brown does not remind me of like Pops.
Yeah.
So like when it comes to really emulating someone that coached under, that's a real accomplishment.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that Arteta's got it, and he's got people believing. That's the hardest thing is getting your team to believe in it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I think this
Buy
is
in, buy in. That's it.
Yeah,
Hey,
I got a
I'd be
group of
excited
20.
for you too.
Well,
Maybe
thank
you'll
you.
finish higher than 5th. I don't know.
I mean,
Dude, I just want to watch an Arsenal Champions League game in my 30s. That's all I'm asking.
yeah.
I got a year and a half left before I'm 40. I
That's tough.
want to see some Champions League. I want to,
Yeah.
I want to see an Arsenal Bayern game that had meaning, that I can like bash my head up against the wall.
Yeah. When was that? Was that Mercyside? Was like the last time that happened or something?
Yeah. Good old Per.
Per.
Hey, he's still up. He's in the Arsenal ranks as far as decision making. He's still with the squad. He's my guy.
German.
As long as he doesn't, get Mustafi back in the lineup, I'm okay.
Please, no.
You don't understand. These Arsenal fan pages that I belong to, they all day they beg for Mustafi and Ozil, and none of them are German. None of these guys are German. Most of them are guys from like Nigeria and stuff that run these Arsenal fan pages because there's a huge following there, and they love Ozil and Mustafi. And I'm like, just give it up. It's over.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, I guess, for Ozil.
Yeah.
He's whatever Algerian, German,
Turkish,
German.
He's
Turkish.
German. He's German nationality. He's playing in Germany, but he's Turkish.
Yeah, he's Turkish.
Turkish.
He's as German. He's as German as Boateng.
Okay. Yeah.
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 Which, if we could have only had Kevin Prince for those years, man.
KPB.
Yeah, man.
We definitely made a difference.
Oh yeah.
What a head case.
Yeah. Hey, he did the right thing. He stuck with Ghana. Really helped his career. So.
Sure.
my one player on my team, my buddy Leslie from Ghana, he's a big Kevin Prince fan. So
KPB in his prime was pretty good.
Yeah.
What else?
I'm excited. I remember you guys are bringing up Dest. I mean, Serge is. I'm excited for what a lot of American players are doing abroad right now.
Yeah, that was part of the other poll question that
perfect.
If everybody didn't see out there, all the people that Serginho Dest is now going to Barcelona.
Yes.
And will he make an impact there? Will he break into that first team?
Absolutely, I think so.
Eventually, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's still a young kid. He's going to learn under, you got Jordi Alba there still. He's on his last leg. He's probably 30 some. Yeah. He's getting up there. So I'm sure they're grooming Dest to be that. And Semedo's gone now too, so that opens up a spot.
It does. That was the one thing when we were talking about the Wolves needing some help. That could be a big help for them, bringing in Semedo. So,
yeah,
Portugal FC.
But yeah, I mean, I would love to see Dest thrive for that and be able to work up a side with one of the greatest players in the game and a guy that he's come out and has said, obviously, a lot of guys of his age range have really looked up to throughout his entire life and soccer playing career. So, I mean, it's awesome seeing him and McKinney and Pulisic and, all these guys. I mean, that's what we need. And we need, and I know you've probably heard me say it before, we need a guy like Greg Berghalter to play those guys and not
get him out.
We don't
not
go
and on MLS players.
Yes.
He's out.
Yes. Like, what is your problem with playing the players that we have that are playing on the biggest stages in the world?
Yep,
Yeah,
guarantee.
you know why? that's half the. That's a big reason as to why they got rid of Jurgen. And,
I know.
I mean, like, you know, Jurgen started with your greens and bringing in other, you know, players. It's a huge reason, and I think that makes a difference. But I do want to say though, let's not forget that Ajax is not a small team. Like,
It's not.
You know, like it's not. I mean, Ajax is.
I mean, their academy is one of the best in the world,
Exactly.
producing players.
I mean, producing players. Some of the best defenders actually have come from Ajax in the last like five years.
And they win.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just a player production, but they are consistently a winning team as well.
Yeah. Which
is good. It's a good culture.
It's excellent culture, but it's funny too because like most people are like, oh, Barcelona. I'm like, you realize? I mean, I think they have like 30. Ajax has won the league something like 34 times. I think 33.
Yeah, they dominate the Dutch league.
Like, you know, like PSV is like the closest that comes to them, and I'm like, okay, that's on the levels of like your Real Madrid to Barcelona. You know?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Bayern to
Barcelona would be like him going to PSV almost in a sense.
Don't you start with your slander talk of Dortmund.
I was not slandering.
They just beat Freiburg 4-0.
Nice.
Gio Reyna with 2 assists.
Beautiful. James with 2 goals.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that.
4-1 Everton right now.
Woo.
I do like Dortmund. I mean, primarily because that's where Klopp came from. But like, yeah, 29. I think Bayern's got 29 titles, I believe.
Yeah.
And the closest to them is Dortmund with 5. So they're
on an 8-year run right now and they're probably going to make it 9 this year. But they did lose to Hoffenheim last week, so
they did.
So then why would you sell Sancho? Why?
That's just the way the club has been. They have to sell him off to get something. I don't know why you would, but it's just Dortmund has become that club. You buy cheap, they kill it, they do great, and then they sell them for, you know, $100 million. Right. You saw it with Ousmane Dembele, selling him to Barcelona. He's doing shit. He can't stay healthy. Yeah. You're going to see it with Sancho. You're going to see it with Haaland.
Oh yeah, enjoy another year or maybe 2 of Haaland because.
Absolutely.
That check.
That's all in their contract. I don't know if you knew that or not, but that's in their contracts too, though. That they have, if another big club comes knocking, that they'll sell them.
Yeah. It's just you got to take the money in. Honestly,
it's a revolving door, but that's impressive. That's what I like about Dortmund. You know. Is the fact that they are a revolving door, but yet they are generally very competitive. That's not easy to do, bringing in guys for 2 to 3 years and then letting them go out and bringing in new ones and still finding a way to make it to Champions League, to and to be a top 4 club.
They evaluate talent from these kids that are young. These young kids, they know they're going to play at Dortmund. You see it with Sancho. You see it with, you know, Gio, even this Jude Bellingham kid that we got from Birmingham.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be like the next big thing in English, you know, football. And he's doing really well too. At 17, he's starting for Dortmund.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah.
So
did Gio
these young kids
yet?
Huh?
Did Gio turn 18 yet? I know he was like it was like coming up.
I don't know.
I don't even think he's 18 yet. I think he's still 17. So
I mean, again, it's
incredible.
These big names, young kids want to go to Dortmund because they know they're going to play, and they're probably, you know, going to get. They do really well. Look at Sancho; he was almost an outcast by City.
But don't you think that hurts the Bundesliga? I mean, don't you think that hurts the league?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the fact that the best players half the time, Lewandowski. We sell off to our rival in Bayern.
Yeah, the only
that I don't understand.
When they deal with Bayern.
Yeah, Lewandowski had, he scores 5 goals in one game in the Champions League, and they sell him to Bayern for, pennies on the dollar. Like, doesn't make sense, but.
Yeah.
But then
You
Man
gotta do
United
what-
looks
you
for
gotta do what
Sancho, and they keep raising the price.
You got to do what Liverpool did with El Nino and make the money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
sell to Chelsea or sell to your big name clubs and make your money. I understand that part, but I know if I had a lot of young talent that Dortmund had, you'd want to really develop it and create a dynasty, maybe.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
They had a young dynasty that year that they went to the Champions League final against Bayern, of course.
Right.
In 2013, that was like, your Lewandowskis, Gundogan that they sold off, some of these big names, Hummels when he was actually in his prime,
Mm-hmm.
Neven Subotic was in his prime, Smeltzer, all these like German guys,
Yeah.
the Royces and the Goetzes of the world,
Right.
Sahin when he was young, like.
But by making those sales, that's the reason they're now continuing to be able to bring the guys in that they have. I mean, that's just their format, and
It is what it is. It
I
sucks
think, like,
because Bayern's just going to rule the Bundesliga for a long time.
Well, that's what Walker was saying. It does hurt. I'm not going to lie. It does hurt that league. That's why that league doesn't get the credit around the world that some of the other, out of the big 5, it probably gets some of the least amount of credit because of it. But
I don't know.
Yeah, man.
It is what it is.
What else? We're talking about world news. Just to stick in the U.S. real quick, since Adam and I always say we got to plug the women's game every show if we try to remember, because our lady fans always yell at us for not talking enough about women's soccer. But it appears Miss Alex Morgan may be making her debut for Spurs women's side against City this weekend. So
I saw Samantha Mewis scored for the Lady Citizens this weekend or this week.
I'm so torn on this whole thing because the one thing U.S. soccer had was we had the best women in the world.
Yeah.
And they were all playing in our league, in our country, and now they're not.
Pay them more. That's why.
I understand. I know, but like we were finally making ground as far as U.S. soccer goes, and like now they're all playing in England. They're all leaving. They're all going to these, and hopefully the next wave, continues and we keep developing in our country.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I guess it's a double negative because we say we want our men to be playing on the top squads in Europe, but we don't want the women.
Exactly.
I don't know.
And it's a good opportunity for these women, though, to play for these historic, again.
No, I think it's awesome, but that was like one thing we could always hold our hat on or hang our hat on. And
yeah, like all the best women want to play in the NWSL.
Yeah.
Like Marta is over there. Yeah. I don't know.
But I wanted to throw that out there.
Do you want to do a Champions League thing quick?
We could do a quick touch on that. Absolutely. I was going to talk about Carabao Cup, but there's really nothing I need to talk about. The only thing I wanted to talk about, I got in there. So
right, yeah,
yeah, and maybe just show favorite our boy John Joe with a huge goal for Newcastle to get them to PKs against Newport and sweep that win away.
Hey, Newport County, good, a team that was like not even, I think, like the 5th tier of English football.
So
Brendan Rodgers, he was Brendan Rodgers, one of his like biggest. He was the biggest fan of him, like, and I knew it wasn't going to work out.
John Joe.
We love John Joe on this show.
Great footballer, a little bit of a head case.
Yeah, a little bit of a head case.
Yeah.
Oh well, I love him.
Looks like he plays like the Gotham on the character from Gotham or something.
Yeah, he does.
He's Voldemort.
Yeah.
He could be. He easily could be.
But yeah, some Champions League. Obviously, the draw was on Thursday.
Yes.
Some of these groupings, I saw. What was the one that was
Group G?
the G? Yeah, Juve, Barcelona in one group with Dynamo Kiev and Fenerbahce.
Yeah, that is going to be a fun time. Definitely.
That one was one that stood out to me. Group H with PSG,
And
Man United, Leipzig, and Istanbul was another one that was like, okay, that should come. I mean, Leipzig's no pushover.
No,
they're not. They're not.
What was another one? My boys in Dortmund, Group F with Zenit, St. Petersburg, Lazio, and Club Brugge.
watch out for Zenit.
They should walk away with that one. Maybe a late trip to St. Petersburg while the ultras from Zenit aren't trying to like kill people.
Don't underestimate Zenit. They got your boy Lovren in the middle.
Ooh, that should be an easy one too.
He's one of the few players that could say that first game that he's on the squad, gets into the game, and then comes out with a championship.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
That is. It's very impressive.
Just riding the coattails of Van Dijk.
Yeah.
Making him look really good.
I didn't want to see Lovren go, to be honest with you. So
honestly, he was your best second back for a while there over Matip, I think.
Really? You think so? Okay.
I mean, I don't know what Matip's issue was because he would come in, he would play good, and then he'd disappear for 3 games.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was a locker room thing. I don't know if it was a fitness thing. I mean, you might know better being closer to that team, but it always just seemed like he would play well and then disappear.
Yeah, it's more so, at least with Lovren, I was more so dejected that he's leaving simply because he is best friends with Salah. Like, they are tight. So team unity is everything when it comes to winning and, progressing further and getting through the hard times. It's just the hardest part sometimes. When you lose, it's easy when you're winning. But sometimes when you're losing, if you don't like that person next to you, you're more likely to start pointing fingers or, having everything just really go to the basket. So that's the part that I was hoping that he would stay on for. But he was getting a little old in the tooth, or however they say it, and, or long in the tooth, actually, as I say it. So, yeah, I knew he had to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the game's changing. I mean, I've had a discussion with a few guys that I'm friends with, and center back is a position that you want to have some pace now. I mean, it's very hard to be a legit center back, especially in a league like the Prem, and be slow. Those two things don't go hand in hand. And, Joe Gomez still might not be the most technical player. He still might have a lot of work to do, but he's got a hell of a lot of pace.
Yeah.
And that's going a long way now in that center back position. That's why I like the kid Malagas that we brought in, and
Pace.
Yeah.
Speaking of Liverpool, Group D in the Champions League, we got Liverpool, Ajax, Atalanta, and Midtjylland.
Yes.
Tough.
It's a tough group, though.
Atalanta can put up some goals.
They can. And, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Italian league because I just think that they so often just pack it in and don't really, press forward trying to bring in any offense.
Yeah.
But they're still a good team, though.
Yeah.
They're still a good team.
And I would say Atalanta is probably one of the ones that if anybody does press forward on occasion, they seem to. They're one of the ones that seem to find a way to put some goals in the net, especially in Champions League the last couple of years.
Yeah, they're fun to watch. They're offense.
And
yeah.
we've had problems with Italian teams for some reason. So
yeah,
that's definitely something that I've got my eye on.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
You'll be all right.
You'll be all right.
Another one that's kind of intriguing was Group B: Real Madrid, Shakhtar Donetsk, Inter, and Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Yeah.
Which is kind of an intriguing one to see how Inter does. For some reason, Inter just draws terrible groups these past couple of years. They were in the Dortmund group last year.
They get some gifts.
Yeah, well, I mean, Lukaku is flourishing in Italy.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. To be honest
Scoring.
with you, though, he should have never left Man U. I mean,
He
let's
shouldn't
just
have.
be honest.
No, I agree. That was silly. Who is that under? That the coach at the time, United.
I think it was it Moreno?
Was it?
It's actually no. I think the issue started with Moreno, but I think Ole was technically there when he left. Because it's only been a year.
Yeah.
Only been out of there a year.
Yeah, but he was really killing it for them last year.
Yeah, and Inter got back Perisic. He left Bayern and went back.
Yeah, and they didn't
brought in Vidal.
Yeah, and they didn't sell off Lautaro Martinez either, which I thought that they would.
Yeah, I was surprised to see
young Argentinian
bring in Arturo Vidal.
He's passed. He's done.
He's not done. He's
done.
He's
He's
not what
cooked.
he was, but he's not.
He's
I don't know
cooked.
if he's done.
He's cooked.
He's about as cooked as Thiago. Come on. Come on now.
Cooked Chileans all around.
Hey, when he's eye to eye with you with that mohawk and all those tats.
Oh,
I mean, he's not a guy I would like to run into in a dark alley. No,
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Guy's vicious.
He could be very scary for sure.
Yes.
And just one more. Obviously, your stupid Bayern team. Group A: Bayern, Atletico Madrid, Red Bull Salzburg, and Lokomotiv Moscow.
That's actually a really good group too.
Yeah.
Atletico trying to challenge maybe.
Hey, I'm
They got the two biters on the team. You got crazy Suarez and you got crazy Diego Costa.
Hey.
Suarez can do anything that he did in Barcelona or even close to what he did in Liverpool.
He's already been in making a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's already scored.
A huge difference.
Yeah, I mean,
huge difference.
That allows Simeone to play a different type of game for a while. I mean, the only thing is I still want them to either move on then from and get the money, or I mean, you can't just keep burying João Felix. You know, like that move does that now. You know,
he's got to play.
He's got to play. I mean, the kid is ultra talented.
Yeah.
I think the problem with him, he's too much. I think watching him, he seems too much of a head case already. Like, people compare him to Ronaldo. At least Ronaldo has somewhat of his head on his shoulders.
Well, I mean, you've probably since 9 years old, they've been comparing him to Ronaldo in Portugal.
Probably.
So,
Felix seems cocky as hell, and he hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah.
That's just my.
But every time he touches the ball, you just see that brilliance.
Yeah, but can he be coached? That's what I'm. Trying to say.
No, I feel you. That's why I want him out of there and give him an opportunity.
I mean, Simeone is the guy that's not going to take any shit.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, it's kind of
the money line is to either take Juventus or Barcelona. Looks like though. I mean, Juventus is plus 1400, and I think Barcelona came in at plus 1600 to win the Champions League.
I'd put it on Juventus. I got no faith in Barca.
Yeah, I don't either.
Your Bayern is the favorite. Bayern and Manchester City are the favorites.
Yeah, I mean Bayern by all rights probably should be.
That's fair.
Absolutely.
They only won every trophy that they possibly could.
Second best team in the world. I mean, like, hey.
Jab. Hey, we had that argument. Was that last week? One of the poll questions: is Bayern the best team in the world currently?
Yeah,
I would like to see them play. That would be very, very.
That would be phenomenal. Yeah, that would be
As a fan, that's what you wish for, I guess.
Yeah, as a fan.
As a neutral myself.
As a neutral fan, exactly. As a neutral fan, that's what you would wish for. Is that because
you want to see the best
Thiago
against
go
the best.
them. And,
Sure.
I think they're going to miss Thiago more than they admit.
Yeah. Although they did add this Mark Roca kid yesterday from Espanol. I'm just he's not Thiago. I understand that, but they're filling spots, and I mean Sane's barely had a cup of coffee yet, and he's already
he's hurt again.
Yeah, I know. But
still,
poor guy.
He's a beast, though.
He really is.
He's a really great player.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to stop that side when him and Alfonso are really going. We talk about pace and pace killing. Yeah. You can run up that left-hand side with that much pace and be serving guys like Muller and Lev and Gnabry when it trickles off to the. I mean,
yeah,
it just goes on and on and on.
Tommy Muller drinking from the fountain of youth.
Yeah, another one drinking from the fountain of youth like Vardy.
Yeah. I think he's the most decorated player now, or something. I think that was something that.
Between Bundesliga, Germany, he's
a winner.
He's the winner. I'm not gonna lie, he is a winner.
I agree.
I mean, he made the safe play for his career and basically hung out in Bayern his whole life, and some guys are just comfortable doing these things. And,
right.
Messy.
Yeah, we've talked about that before, and not wanting to be uncomfortable.
We have the comfortability conversations.
Yes, and that's why Ronaldo always gets that little bump over Messi in my book, because he's bumped around and he's done it everywhere. So,
yeah,
agreed.
Well, it's going to be interesting too. I mean, now with Barcelona, and because there's this whole the region that they're in Spain is like upheaval. They're trying to get their independence and everything else. I mean, that will make a difference,
Yeah.
That will make a huge difference. So it's going to be interesting to see, if he sticks it out there, or just what happens with the region and the team in general. So.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, there's a lot more to just the game, That's sure. The beauty of this game is that it's so worldly, and there's always things bigger than soccer that are going to come in as factors. But at the same time, this game helps kind of bring people together and
absolutely,
and kind of deafen some of that outside noise. Yeah. More than any other sport in my mind. And
absolutely, I agree with that point too.
I talk with I told you and I told Adam that I'm taking on this new adventure of this team in the New Jersey League, and it's really cool what this kid has built, and his philosophy on the game and how he perceives it and what he kind of wants. Like he's told me he believes in the Renaissance. He believes in the beautiful game and how it really makes a big difference in lives and how it changes lives. And I agree with him, and that's why I jumped on board with it, because it's changed probably all of our lives in some way or another. So
that was similar with myself. The reason why I like Leeds, actually, when I was explaining, is because when I was working for FIFA and U.S. Soccer, I also was connected to DC United, and they came for an actual, friendly against DC United, and the people that I got to interact with and everything else, I know they're speaking English. It's very hard to understand a lot of what they're saying.
Yeah.
Especially if you get a couple of Boddingtons into you. So that's their drink. So it was definitely an amazing experience to have that happen. But the fact that we could have something that we shared was the most important bridge, I think. And our love of soccer was something that we shared, and they didn't know anything about my culture, or our culture, I should say. But yet they're still, other than from what they've seen on TV and movies, but they still have soccer or football. And that was something that, we the Irish Times and everything else in DC.
Bond over it.
Yeah, they can they can drink.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They can drink.
Yeah, I mean, we were saying that especially during the pandemic too. Like, we didn't do any shows for what, 2 months or so,
Yeah.
3
Yeah,
months,
we took like almost a 3-month hiatus.
and it was, those times it was just weird and it was so uncertain. But when we got back, like, to doing the show in June, it just felt good to talk about the game again. And
Yeah.
we always say every show, we're like, there's so many soccer fans out there, but not everybody. Like, maybe one out of your friends is a soccer fan, and you don't like talking about soccer because they just don't care.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you never bring it up. But now it's like we want people to come out of the closet, you could say, and talk. This is our safe space to talk about the game.
Yeah.
It's also difficult when you have, because soccer is unique in that there's not just the NBA or the NFL, like
Right.
there's so many leagues.
Right.
So when you're talking, like, I have friends that don't follow any English Premier League team, but yet, they're big Barcelona fans or something like that. Or,
Mhm.
I have a lot of Argentinian friends, and I have like a lot of Colombian friends, So there's teams that we follow or I follow that, aren't even, like, I wouldn't even know half the league or half the teams are in the league yet,
Oh yeah, there's this one dude, Dan, who sends me stuff daily, and he's like, I'm not a Premier League fanboy. He watches the Israeli league and he watches the Russian
wow.
league. Like,
Wow.
that's his life, and he watches MLS because he's up in Vancouver, he's up in Canada, up in British Columbia, and like that's his. I text him something about something Prem. He goes, I don't like that shit, Like, and but I give him credit. I was like, dude, but that's what I love. That's what I,
Right.
Anywhere, any day, any country, there is a game being played.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get that in any other sport. And
Right.
we joke around with Tommy because, A2D's big thing is no notes. But it's really hard when you're talking about a game all over the world and not making it,
It's not 32 teams or 30 teams or something like that. You're almost dealing with like 32 leagues practically.
Yeah.
So there's only so much we can cover and so much we could talk about, but
That's why we had to pick, like, all right, we're going to focus mostly on the Prem, because if we wanted to, we could talk about literally, 6 of the top leagues in the world, but there's just not enough time in an hour and a half to talk
we need
about
a show
all
a
that.
day.
Yeah. Specifically league shows. That's why it's like, all right, Prem is probably the best.
Maybe one day, brother. Maybe one day.
Yeah, just a different league show. Like, hey, today is La Liga day.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's food for thought.
One of these days when we finally make it big time.
That's true.
You're on your way.
Yeah. Hey, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, we appreciate guys like you and Julio from last week. I know he was happy to see you on this week.
Yeah, everybody was loving Lord Walker. I saw on the chat.
Yeah. So, and like we say, everything coming full circle. It's pretty cool that you're originally, you're from Cherry Hill area.
Yep.
Adam and I this didn't
Cherry
exist without Cherry Hill.
East.
We met over a year ago at CSB. Both giving up our lives to chase a dream of this broadcasting thing, and Cherry Hill brought us together and created this. We were sitting in a class one day and with a bunch of guys, and they're all Eagles this and this and this, and I'm like, you know what? Everybody in the Philadelphia area wants and can talk sports. They all want to talk Phillies. They all want to talk Eagles. I want to bring something different. And Adam's like, I like soccer.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Let's chop it up in the studio.
Yeah. It was like people, God, and everybody putting you in the right place at the right time. And, it was awesome. And here we are. So.
Yeah, a year later on A2D, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was happy to come across A2D, actually, because, I'm out in Arizona. I've been here for the last 12 years, and it's, it's difficult. I have to wake up at like 6:30, 7 o'clock. Football games are on all early, and everything's always early. You tend to watch things at brunch or breakfast.
Yeah.
So, it's so exciting when I started seeing, just something to watch that brought me back home.
Right.
Very excited.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So, I mean, again, there's a million great shows on this platform that everybody could chop it up, and they're the best. So,
some great commentators too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of good guys on here. So we enjoy a lot of the other guys, and it was similar. You know, Julio was the same thing. He's from Vegas, and he just happened to find it on one of Tom's rants after they drafted Jalen Hurts because he's an Eagles fan. So that somehow being an Eagles fan linked him to A2D because of that got some big publicity with going on about the draft. And then he was like, holy crap, there's a soccer show. And it's like, it's awesome, man.
Yeah. And it's great because soccer's a global sport. So we're trying to, we've had people from Marseille, you know, in France jump on. We got Niemi from South Africa.
Yeah, we got a girl from South Africa that watches our show and is in our fantasy league. Like, come on.
Wow.
You know, like that's what we want. We want to bring the attention to American people, but we also want to show the rest of the world that, you know, we can do it in our own style and we love the game just as much as they do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And bring a little American, you know, flair and whatever to it. So.
Flavor in the ear.
Yeah. So as usual, I mean, we're going to need to have this talk and stretch this show to 2 hours because we've hit our hour and a half.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't even run down this week really. So
yeah, I mean, sort of. We sort of jumped around a little bit.
Who's your yellow card and red card then? How about that?
Ooh. Well, Adam?
I would still say I want to say VAR, but that's like every week, and that's just like the laziest one to go to. Honestly, I'm still upset with the Chelsea hierarchy, Roman Abramovich. Like, yes, you brought in Chilwell. Yes, you brought in Thiago Silva, which I still don't really like. But you're not playing like, I don't know why Frank Lampard does not really like Tomori. Because I think he can plug in there with even Zuma or Thiago. That's kind of my yellow card of like, why, what's the, or not infatuation with Tomori. And selling Tyreek Lamptey to Brighton because he seems like he's going to be an absolute stud.
Yeah, he does.
They chose Reece James over Lamptey, basically.
Yeah, it could be a mistake.
And that could be a mistake. I do like Reece, but again, Chelsea hierarchy.
I guess my yellow, red, it's going to be a straight red again. We've talked about it, and we keep going back to it, and it just keeps rearing its head, whether it's not necessarily just straight racism.
I know where you're going with this.
If we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but Donovan's team that he runs.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Absolutely.
They walked off the pitch and they forfeited their game.
Yeah,
it was against Phoenix. It was against, yeah. I have friends. A couple of my friends are partners in that team, like as actual owners. So
that was a good call. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, there's been 2 weeks now that Donovan's.
Drogba.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah,
I've seen him and met him a bunch of times out. So yeah.
Yeah, I got. If you haven't heard on the show, I have this really soft spot for Ivory Coast soccer.
Okay.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah. It's this weird thing that I have. We're not going to dig too deep into it.
Yeah, that could be a segment in itself.
Yes, that could be. So, but yeah, it's unfortunate that, you know, with everything going on and everything that, you know, it's just like it just keeps happening. It just keeps happening, and there's no place for it. This is supposed to be our safe spot.
Yeah, they walked off the field. They're up 3-1.
Oh yeah, they forfeit with a 3-1 lead.
Yes, 3-1 lead, and they walked off, and they needed that game to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean that's a statement though.
That's
good
a statement.
Them. Good
that's,
for them.
Yeah,
that's really good for them.
Get behind your teammates, and obviously, and the coach for Phoenix seemed like he didn't do anything wrong. Like he didn't understand in his mind, like he said to Landon, like, how long have you been playing? It's like, bro, are you serious? Like, what?
Yeah.
You see that Landon Donovan?
Yeah, it's like, dude, did you play in the
serious?
Premier League, dude? I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he was trying to say, oh, well, this goes on, but that's the whole point is it's not supposed to go on.
It's not supposed to. It's not supposed to. I mean,
we all love this game, and whether we play it or coach it or whatever, as our escape and as our release, and to like we just we all just talked about bringing all these cultures into one spot and forgetting everything else other than just enjoying the presence of everybody and just living in some form of peace.
Well, that's why I was scared about McKinney going to Italy, actually. Because it's the same place where they throw bananas onto to the pitch.
Yeah, at their best player.
At their own players.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Moise Kean.
That's outrageous.
Yeah.
Definitely outrageous. I had the red card that I was going to bring up was similar to yours. It's somewhat of an older story, but like with RSL, because I have some players that I've actually placed onto the team, and actually one of my best friends plays on the team. So the fact that Hansen is like selling the team because of his racism is a good thing that he's selling him. But I mean, just the same. It's just the fact that they existed is disappointing.
Right. Well, that's where my beef with FC Cincinnati came from.
Yes.
If you're unfamiliar with that one,
Yeah,
it's kind of died down because MLS is making me sick with my Red Bull.
I will say, can I slip in though? I will say the yellow card that I had was for your boy Adam, Mr. Lampard.
Mm-hmm.
Frank needs to settle down a little bit on the pitch. Like
he
needs to settle down. First he's going at Klopp, now he's going at Reynolds. Like he's gonna throw a punch pretty soon.
Yeah, he needs to earn his keep first before he starts mouthing off to some of these guys that's been doing it for. It's almost like respect your elders, and he played under Mourinho, didn't he not?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you saw Tim Howard comment on today too. He was like, "Look, it's one thing if you are 5 years into coaching, that's one thing, but you're not even like a year really into coaching, and you're up here like in people's faces and yelling at coaches." I'm like, you're thinking you're on the pitch as a
right. Yeah, your playing career doesn't give you that right.
Yeah.
The pedigree of playing, it's like you got to earn it as a coach as well. But yeah, he's been a little mouthy. For some reason, I don't know why. Maybe he's being a sore loser at some points too.
He commented. Did you see the interview that he commented on it again? He commented on it again. I was like, just let it go. Like it happened.
He's doubling down. I stand behind my man.
I'm like, this guy.
Walker putting Frankie on notice. I love it.
Hey, I put him on notice as well. This is a big year for him, but yeah, he's acting a fool sometimes. He needs to chill out.
Yeah. But I think he's a good coach, though. I will admit that.
Yeah.
I think he's a good coach, and I think that he's got a lot of promise.
Yeah, I think he did great things with less talent last year. For your sake, for Chelsea's sake, I hope you can bring all these things together and all that money spent.
I think it's wrong what he did with Tammy, but
yeah,
you don't take your top scorer and then say, hey, we're gonna bring someone else in. And,
that's true. Yeah. Light a little fire under Tammy's ass.
That money that you spent on Warner, you could have put towards Ballet or something like that, or
that's what Adam wanted.
Or at least maybe even take a look, maybe bring Nate Ackey back. He's a former Chelsea player.
Right. Yeah.
But now he's sitting in City.
Now he's sitting in the City and playing well.
Not surprised.
And we're gonna go another transfer window, and Koulibaly's still gonna be at
Napoli. Nothing.
That's because Napoli's owner is
we lost Brian.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah. Napoli's owner is definitely a handful.
Yeah. He drives a hard bargain. That's why.
Yeah.
I mean,
he loves himself a little too much.
I mean, Koulibaly has been talked about coming to the Prem for like 5 years, and still nothing has been done.
Yeah. And if anything, City would have probably been a team I thought
Yeah.
they were going to pick him up. To be honest.
They chose the cheaper route because didn't City bring Ruben Diaz in this week?
Yep. Yep.
Because the Napoli guy, he wants like 80 million for Koulibaly, and that's
It's not getting done right now.
a lot, and
It's a
especially with the economy and stuff too.
I mean, they won 120 for Sancho, you know. So I mean, like, there's teams that are just holding out that are just like, you know, really not understanding that times are changing. This COVID,
Yeah,
and it's different. You know?
it is, and we'll see. We'll see the transfer window. See what happens. Any movement on Monday?
Yeah, yeah. The deadline is going to be a very big thing to see because, again, you know, with all the way that these numbers are being tossed around and everything, and now some of these teams are finally being like, hey, you know, we've got to do this. We've got to make these splashes.
Mm-hmm.
Should be interesting.
Yeah, should be fun. Fortunately, probably got to run. Already over our time.
I don't see that.
But I appreciate you coming on, man. This was fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Try and do it again soon.
Yeah, hopefully very soon. Okay, sounds good.
So thanks everybody for listening, and again, thank Lord Walker for coming on. And Brian just decided to jump out. But again, thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next Saturday, same time, 10:30.
Yep. See you then.
See you, man.